listening to the 10 out of 10 podcast, where we take you on our journey exploring cities that are sports hotbeds, primarily in SEC country or throughout the South. Each week, you will learn the best places to eat, hottest venues to visit, and a few hidden gems along the way. So when you visit, your trip will also be a 10 out of 10. Happy Victory Monday, and welcome to this week's 10 out of 10 podcast. This week, we're going to explore New Orleans. So, New Orleans, I just think of the Sugar Bowl because we've been so many times for the Sugar Bowl.
I've been quite a few times for the Sugar Bowl as well. And this year it is the college football playoff. It is the first round of the playoffs. So I don't know what seeds, if it's 2 versus 3 or 1 versus 4 in New Orleans. I don't think they've announced that yet. But the Sugar Bowl will be one of the playoff New Orleans will be one of the playoff cities. So
maybe our team's.
Yeah, I don't think your team's going to make it. I don't know. You know, it is Victory Monday by the skin of Alabama's teeth this week.
Yeah.
The disaster in the pasture, the nightmare at Jordan Hare. Like, what else?
That's probably the best game we've had at Auburn. Like, the closest in our favor.
What did Saban say? He's like, I don't remember many of those going our way over there in Auburn.
It usually doesn't. And the Sugar Bowl usually doesn't go our way either, unless it's like national championship on the line.
It's easy when the refs are wearing crimson and white instead of black and white.
Okay.
I'm just playing. I'm really glad. To be honest with you, I can't decide. I think that I'm on the side of I'm glad y'all won, and you're not going to come in to just play spoiler and be all amped up to beat us, and you actually have a chance to make it in the playoff, and both teams do. I don't think, I think it's win and you're in for both teams. Maybe, I don't know. Alabama's got. I still don't understand why the college football playoff committee thinks that a one-loss Alabama is worse than a one-loss Oregon.
I don't either.
Oregon has played.
That makes zero sense.
They've only beat 4 teams this season with a winning record. Like I don't get it. And then, of course, there's Bo Nix, everybody's favorite Auburn legacy. Yeah, he's terrible. He might even win the Heisman. I don't know. I can't.
It really worked out for him, though.
Yeah.
Over there.
But anyway, I just wanted to inform our listeners that New Orleans will be a great place to go for the first round of the college football playoffs. Hopefully, and I'm really hoping that Georgia will be there for the first round because I love New Orleans. When I think of New Orleans, like you said, there's the Sugar Bowl. There's also Jazz Fest. There's Mardi Gras. There's New Orleans is probably my favorite city, other than it might be my favorite city in the United States. I love it.
It's a whole atmosphere, just the music, the food, the culture.
Yeah.
You just feel different when you're there. I love it.
I agree.
Let's get ready to travel after a few words from this week's sponsor.
Crikey, the only time it's good to hear the scrape of metal is when a garbage can tips over.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Al, and yes, you can tell from my accent I'm an Australian raccoon.
What are you doing in Alabama? Why am I talking to a raccoon?
I now represent Alarec. We're the go-to platform for simplifying car accident claims. Visit us for free wreck reports as well as legal consultations and medical consultations. Remember, mate, your road to recovery begins with alarec.com.
So let's talk about where to eat, what to do, and where to go and see in New Orleans.
All right. So, I have my favorites. I don't know, you probably do too. I'll let you go first. Give me somewhere where to eat.
I really like the gumbo shop. It's like authentic Cajun Creole food.
Yeah. I like Mother's. Mother's is probably my favorite place there. My favorite thing to do though really is I love to stay at the Hotel Monteleone right there on Bourbon Street. It's one of the really old French Quarter hotels that it's got the bar. It's down on the bottom floor that rotates. So it just spins, and you can just see everywhere around. You get to watch. It's the best bar restaurant for people watching. So I love staying there. Although the rooms are really small, they're nice, but they're really small.
It's old-timey, fancy kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. It's not, and it's very reasonably priced. Like we've got, granted, I went down there for a joint bachelor party with 22 people from Mardi Gras.
Wow.
They were all attorneys, so that was good. So we stay out of trouble. But we had 4 guys to a room with like 2 queen beds in each room, so we were like sharing beds in our late 20s. It was kind of weird, but we had a great time. I do have a funny story. Do you want me to tell my story? I think I told you this earlier.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So when we were down there for the Georgia-Hawaii Sugar Bowl, 2007, I believe, was the year, and it was New Year's, and there was a big group of us, and we were out partying on Bourbon Street, and, just the typical go to Pat O'Brien's and drinking a lot of hurricanes and grenades and all that stuff. Hand grenades and hurricanes, that's what it is, yeah. Drinking a lot of those, and everybody's throwing beads, and everybody's partying, and one of the girls that was in our group, she hit a horse cop, a cop that was on a horse. She hit him with a beer. I don't think it was intentional, but after the story, y'all tell me if it was intentional or not. But she gets arrested, or so we thought, and taken away by this horse cop. We assumed he was taking her to like a black and white patrol car to like put her in there and take her to jail. And we were like, all right, well, I guess she's gone for the night. We'll check on her in the morning. And one of my buddies had a condo. His family had like this really like nice 3-story condo down there. And we were staying there, and we decided we're going to go back for like a midnight break just to go back to the condo. And we get back there, and there's the police officer's horse is tied up right outside the condo. We're like, oh my God, we had no idea what was going on. Well, turns out that I guess the way you get out of going to jail in New Orleans is you sleep with the cop on the horse.
Oh my gosh.
We all got back there, and he came walking out. He was like getting dressed, and got dressed and got on his horse and rode off. It was interesting.
What did she have to say about it?
I don't even remember. She was very proud of herself. She is not. She was super happy. She didn't have to go to jail, So she actually got dressed too and came back out. We all went back out and partied some more. But
Wow.
New Orleans is a crazy city like that. But anyway,
one of my favorite bars is Bar Lafitte. Have you been to that?
I don't think so.
Lafitte's blacksmith shop.
I'm going to tell you that I've been to probably every bar in New Orleans and don't remember the names of any of them. I mean, you just walk around and go in and out. But I will say this, Harrah's, that casino, that Harrah's casino is the only casino I've ever won money in. And they give you a card, and it attaches like to their airport. It's like, I got bumped up to first class one time.
What?
Because I won in the casino. And you're like, yeah, they've got like this, the Harrah's card, you like scanned it at the airport, and you can
pretty cool.
Yeah, you can upgrade your flight if you did well. So I do love that.
We went to the World War II Museum one time when we were there. That was cool. It actually was cool. Like, it kind of
I believe you. I love World War II. I love history. However, I've never been to the museum in New Orleans.
It's like you like walk through it all, and it tells you like the story, and you see, like a museum. But I was just really impressed by it. And then you have to obviously see the St. Louis Cathedral, the big white church, and take pictures in front of that.
That's great.
Definitely a spot to see.
Yeah.
I really have you been to Frenchman Street? It's more like local than Bourbon Street. Like, it's a lot of big party street. It's like jazz bands and.
I probably have. I've been pretty much everywhere in New Orleans. I've been down there for a few jazz festivals. Jazz festival is awesome. Lakefront Arena, really cool. Tip Tina's a really cool venue. They've got a lot of famous music places, and I love it for that. So I probably have, if it's real local with good music. I'm just not going to be able to tell you I remember exactly where we went.
And then a horse-drawn carriage ride through the city. That's really fun to do.
Jenna and I have lived very different lives. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think I've ever gone on a horse-drawn carriage ride.
They do like a tour, and it's really cool.
That might be something I do now in my sobriety. I would love to do that now. That sounds super.
You should. I really liked it.
I will. That's a great idea. That's something I would be interested in at this stage of my life.
And then we also went on a ghost tour, a walking tour, and they tell you like all the like haunted stories or whatever, in the streets of New Orleans, and that's where we found that bar because it was like a really old, like the oldest bar in America.
Oh yeah. What's the name of it? The Frenchman. Wait, what is it? Lafitte's. That's it. Yeah. The oldest bar in the whole country. I have been there. I have gotten a drink from that bar. I know exactly what you're talking about now. It's like at the very opposite end of Bourbon Street. Like, yeah, I know
over
exactly
on
what
the
you're talking
corner.
about. Yep. Really cool area. And I really hope to be traveling to New Orleans soon. I'm hoping that Georgia gets the game in New Orleans in the Sugar Bowl, so maybe I'll go on a ghost tour and a horse-drawn carriage
all the
ride.
wholesome things you missed.
Yeah.
This week we have 2 10 out of 10s. Mine is Cafe du Monde. If you go to New Orleans, you just absolutely have to stop there every time. They have the best beignets. Like, they just are crispy and melt in your mouth. And they have really good coffee, too. And they stay open, like, 24/7. And
yeah. Where is it?
it's right there in French Quarter.
Yeah.
Like, right when you get in.
I'm trying to think of mine. Mine is Bayona, probably. Bayona is on Dauphine Street. It's great if you want, like, really good, authentic Cajun seafood. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's a little bit higher end, a little upscale. Jenna likes to say that I'm bougie sometimes, but I like good food. What's the problem?
I do too.
Yeah, that would be my 10 out of 10.
So let's talk some football.
Yeah, let's talk about this week. Let's just talk about football because it is such a big week. Georgia plays Alabama, and everybody knows this. This is the SEC championship. Georgia is favored by 6 points at the moment.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't really like that. But last time we were in here, I believe somebody wanted to bet a lot of money. But I don't remember who that was. Anyway, and I don't know if we were taking point spreads or not. I do know this. It's going to be I think it's going to be a great game, a great atmosphere. I'm going to the game. I will be there. So I'm in section 132, row 36. If y'all look for me on TV, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's like the corner of the end zone, 10-yard line, one of them. I'm on the Georgia side. So, you guys.
Last time I was there, the last time we played, y'all, it was like super Georgia-sided.
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's going to be that way again. Georgia's showing up. Like, I don't understand.
All the media stuff was like all Georgia stuff.
Media?
Yeah.
No. The fans will buy. We will buy out and pay a lot for these tickets. But I'm very disappointed and I will shout this out to any of my F3 brothers that listen that have all been giving me such a hard time this week. And one in particular, his F3 name is Peaches. He is like, I walked up this morning, he's like, I hope you're ready to get your ass whooped. But you know what? None of them are going to the game. I don't understand it. I haven't really talked to that many Alabama fans that are going when every single Georgia fan that I know is going to this game, and we are super excited. I just feel like y'all, and I think I mentioned this before, and maybe they are going, maybe they're using that reverse science that y'all say over here because you can't say psychology, or that word's a little too difficult for y'all, so it's reverse science. Or whether y'all are just going to beat us. I just know it. No.
You still think that we're going to win?
I never count out Alabama ever. I mean, I don't think that this is a sure thing. I do not agree with 6 points as the spread. I would, if it were me, it would be Georgia favored by 3.5 at the most. So if I'm a betting man, I'm taking Alabama in the points. I think it will be decided by a field goal. And that kind of sucks for us because you guys have Will Reichert as your kicker.
He's about to
and
be the all-time best scorer.
all-time leading
ever.
scorer in college football.
Crazy.
I mean, he's been there forever. He's
He
been there so long he got married this year. Yeah, he did. He did, but I mean, there's a lot on the line here, right? So this is the last year of the 4-team college football playoff. Now, I don't think it's fair that Texas, I mean, I guess I agree with Texas being ahead of y'all because they won, but like Oregon, I don't agree with that.
No.
I don't agree with FSU. If you look at FSU, they're the 20th. They have the 20th ranked defense in the country. They just lost their quarterback. I was told injuries would play a factor in the college football playoff committee's decisions. And I don't think that the refs or anybody lets FSU win this game. I think it's the table is stacked against them to get them out. Now, if I don't understand, do y'all realize that Oregon is favored by 10 points against Washington? The team that beat them earlier in this, that gave them their only loss.
What?
I don't understand what's going on, but I feel like there's a conspiracy here somewhere. Like there's just no way. Washington is number 3. Oregon is number 5. Washington is ranked higher, undefeated, and they are underdogs by 10 points. What am I missing here? Eric, you want to chime in on that? Do you have any say-so on this? Like, do you have any thoughts?
All right, my say-so. I don't really have a say-so on the moving up and downs of the lines and betting for college football, but I don't remember the score of the game. It was a close game when they first played because I actually watched most of that game. So I agree with you. For Oregon to be plus 10 in a game against a team that they lost to, and Oregon has am I correct off the top of my head? They have no wins against ranked opponents.
That's correct.
So no wins against ranked opponents. You lost to the team that you're facing in the Pac-12 championship, and they're plus 10. I cannot give you the logic on that one whatsoever. Betting lines usually make sense to me because yesterday. Now, I'll have to look again because the line will move daily until it's locked on Thursday night. But at one point yesterday, the Georgia-Alabama game, as an example, was Georgia plus 10. That line had moved from 6.6 to 10 or 6.5
I never saw that.
to 10.
And
I was like, I'll take that all day. I'll take that all day. So the thing about lines is that they move up and down throughout the week when the people in Vegas, they're getting – injury reports.
Yep.
They're getting inside information that the public is not privy to as far as how the team is looking from a health standpoint and even a practice standpoint. So
I've heard that Michael Penix Jr., another favorite quarterback out there for Washington, is not 100%, and that might have something to do with the line, but I still don't think 10 is a huge, huge line, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. I bet. You're going to win that. I'm all over Washington plus 10.
Yeah.
I bet the farm on that one. However, I will not be betting on the Georgia-Alabama game. I have some bets, and it's funny that I have some friendly bets with some friends. I mean, they are for money, but some of you guys are so confident and cocky about it that they didn't even take odds against me. They were like, I'll bet you straight up that Alabama's going to win versus Georgia's going to win. No line, no points. I was like, you're going to take Alabama money line with no odds on that? You don't want plus 240, 250, whatever it is. Like, no. They're like, no. So I have some straight up bets for some money with some friends. But yeah, this is probably the biggest championship weekend with the most on the ever with there's more scenarios that can happen this year than any year before.
So hear me out. Me and my buddies were talking about this. Michigan's not going to lose to Iowa. I think hell will freeze over first.
I agree.
But it is conceivable for Texas to lose to OK State. That's conceivable. OK State's got
They're 14.5-point favorites. I like OK State in that one too. I will take those points.
I actually like OK State to pull the upset.
Do you?
I do.
I'm betting on OK State. So.
But all right, so let's follow my train of thought here. So OK State, they beat Texas. Louisville is primed to beat Florida State because are they on QB3 or is QB2? Is he good to go?
I don't know. We don't know yet. They haven't
said,
but I think he's going to be fine.
If they haven't said, that means I'm leaning towards QB3, the freshman. So, but even with QB2, I still think Louisville has enough firepower. So if Louisville beats Florida State, Oklahoma State beats Texas, it won't matter who wins the Oregon Washington game because to me the winner of that game is in. So,
but you still got Ohio State sitting right there at 6 with only one loss.
You got Ohio State. So if Florida State loses and Texas loses, let's just say let's say Iowa pulls the upset. What the hell does the committee do then?
Well, you still So Washington and Oregon's going to play itself out, right?
Right.
But if you got a one loss, say Oregon wins that game, you got a one loss Oregon, one loss Washington, one loss Ohio State, one loss if Alabama were to win, one loss Alabama, and one loss Georgia, it would be
chaos.
Absolute chaos.
Because you would have one loss Michigan, who beat one loss Ohio State, one loss Alabama, who beat Georgia.
Yeah.
And then that would give Texas their 2 losses. So that would remove them from the conversation.
Correct.
Right? But then now you have one loss Florida State, but that one loss came to a quote-unquote
I think
bad
Florida
team.
State's out no matter. If they lose, they're out.
Well, I think so too. But again, I'm saying if the top 4 lose, what the hell happens?
I don't know. The committee would they might. It might be huge protests. So it might be like, I don't know. It might be bigger than these. Never mind. We won't go down that route. But I mean, it would be. I don't know what they would do. I don't know how they would make that decision.
I will say, and then I'll shut up. This season made me more of a fan of the 12-team playoff, but I still think the sweet spot is 6 or 8 because after your 8th ranked team, you're getting into the area where those teams are going to be severely harmed.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be like the top 10 with the top 2 getting a bye.
Yeah,
something, something like that. I don't know, but I don't make the decisions, and it's all about money. We all know it's all about
It
money,
is.
right?
But in basketball, a 16 seed can beat a 1 seed, right? They can. That 12th ranked team is not going to beat the number 1 ranked team. They're just not.
No. But I do think this, with the NIL and everything that's been going on, I think teams are getting closer together.
Oh, I agree with that.
I mean,
I agree with that.
There has not been.
True.
Georgia might be number 1, but they have not looked like they have the past 2 years. And I think a lot of that has to do with NIL money spreading out these players all over the country. So I think it will kind of even things out. That was not my thought when this originally happened, that how that was going to go down. But I think that maybe it will eventually. So anyway, Jenna, what do you think?
Tied by 3.
Tied by 3 is your prediction?
Yep.
Man,
That's all I got.
Truly hope you're wrong, but at the same time,
it won't even be 6 points. Tied by between 3 and 5.
That's your prediction too?
Yep. I mean, it's going to be a close game. If it goes the way that the 2021 SEC championship game did, I would be shocked. I was shocked that the Alabama kind of turned that game into a blowout.
Yeah, you'll be shocked. Everybody will be shocked. That is not going to happen again. Let me tell you what's not going to happen again.
Right.
Is Kirby Smart is not going to allow that to happen. Kirby Smart is going to have this team so fired up and so ready to play. I think he's going to go in there and tell them, hey, y'all are not last year's team, and everybody wants you to know that, and everybody thinks that y'all aren't it, and I think he's going to keep them grounded. I think y'all win by 3 or we blow y'all out, one of the two.
Nah.
I don't like a close game scenario. I just don't like it, and it's not. I don't know that that's my real prediction. All right,
real quick, give me your playoff team's prediction.
My playoff team prediction is Georgia, Michigan, Oregon, and I do think Oregon's going to win that game. So I'm going to say Oregon gets in. I'm going to say Oregon, and I don't know. I don't know. I would have to say you have to put in. If FSU wins, you have to win. I would say FSU. But if not, if they don't win, if Louisville wins, I think it's got to be Texas. Okay. If Texas beats, if that plays out, I think it would be Georgia, Michigan, Oregon, Texas.
All right, Jenna.
I'm going to say Michigan, Ohio State.
They don't play anybody this week. They got the best way to not do it.
Georgia and Alabama.
There's no way.
That was last year.
There is no way.
There is a way. If Alabama wins, if Alabama beats number 1 Georgia, and it's a close game, they could conceivably put both of Alabama and Georgia in. But two one-loss SEC teams. But there's going to have to be a lot of.
That would be insane. That would be to have 4 teams from 2 conferences. Anyway, All right. So my prediction is Michigan's going to win. They'll still be the 1 seed. I think Oregon is going to beat Washington, and they will be the 2 seed. The 3 seed is going to be Alabama. They're going to beat Georgia. Now the 4 seed is going to end up being Florida State. And yes, a 1-loss Alabama will be ahead of Florida State because I think they're going to sneak by Louisville by the skin of their teeth. I think Oklahoma State beats Texas. So Michigan, Oregon, Alabama, Florida State.
Okay. All right. Well, let's remember that for next week because we're going to have a lot to digest next week for sure. After this is a big weekend. And there is one thing about going to the game is I don't get to watch all the other games. So like I will be just checking scores on my phone, but super excited to be at the game anyway.
Thank you for listening to the 10 out of 10 podcast. Follow our travels every Victory Monday on YouTube and Apple Podcast, and extra content on Instagram at Jenna C. Harkness. Until next time, make each day a 10 out of 10.